Hello, and welcome to a nice, chill, unfazed review podcast. I'm Ben Steerick.
I'm Emma Lefebvre.
Today we have tonight I should say, a very, very, very exciting podcast.
Very exciting.
If you guys haven't seen the video yet on the channel, A, what's wrong with you? B, I hope the quality's good. Probably not. But I recorded it in 4K, 60 frames per second, and we were leaving Bay Sushi, our favorite sushi spot. Classic. And we walked out, full tummies, feeling good, and I saw these people in the parking lot. Emmett and I looked at them, and they were like looking up at the sky, recording on their phones. And almost jokingly, I was like, oh, what are we missing out on? Is it the Phoenix Lights? And we looked up, and then Emmett was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And we looked underneath the moon, and there was this link of like 20 or so lights that almost looked like stars moving in formation, kind of like a train rolling underneath the moon.
Yeah.
And immediately I acted fast because I've seen things not quite like that, but similar, unidentified flying objects in the sky. And in the past, I haven't been able to record them. And this one, I was like, okay, I have to record this. So I pulled out the iPhone, put it on 4K, 60 frames per second, started recording, and I got probably at least 30 seconds of it. And the video is posted on the YouTube channel, it's posted on Twitter, and I'm going to, of course, put it on Instagram as well. But you can see for yourselves. Mm-hmm. Check it out. I know a bunch of people say, oh, SpaceX satellites, whatever. I don't know, man. I've never seen anything quite like it, and I don't think it was satellites.
Neither have I.
Because there was like 20 of them in a row. It was like watching a train go past.
Yeah. And you were saying, some people might say it's Starlink, and I think someone did on the YouTube, but is Starlink only one? Or how many is...
When I've seen what I think is Starlink in the past, if you look at videos, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
It looks, at least not as long. But I could be wrong. It could be Starlink.
Like
I don't
20
know.
separate...
Yeah, and if I'm wrong, okay, I learned something new tonight. But as of right now, I have no clue what that was.
It was weird looking. I never seen anything like it.
Yeah, and from what I've seen, online, it didn't look familiar to me. But who knows, man? Technology and space travel is always advancing, so it very well could be a SpaceX thing. I don't know, but it was trippy. It was definitely trippy and exciting, and whatever it is, I'm glad I recorded it because it was a very narrow window of time to catch it, and. Being from Phoenix and, always seeing video and stories of the Phoenix Lights, I'm always very, hyper focused on that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, if there's going to be something like that, let's try to catch it and document it.
Absolutely.
So comment below on what you guys think it is. Go check out the video if you haven't seen it. And, it could be aliens, could be something Elon made, could be NASA, could be Luke Air Force Base, I don't know.
Yep.
I know for some reason people get, real up in arms when you post a UFO video. They're like, no, it couldn't possibly be aliens.
No.
It's something that can be explained. Absolutely, it could be.
These days, the Air Force admitted, there's UFOs. So
I'm definitely open. I'm hopeful that it's aliens.
We hope for aliens as we hope for ghosts.
Yes, I hope for ghosts. I hope for Bigfoot, and I hope for aliens.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, man, it really got me excited. I was super stoked. And the fact that we saw it together was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was weird. It was surreal. And it was right as we walked outside too. It was just going by. It's like something out of a movie.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. And what's nice about that was there was a random couple that pulled up, and I was so excited I just showed them, and the dude was like, "Hey, airdrop me that. Like I'm really into this kind of stuff." And so I sent him 7 dick pics. And then I was like, "All right, here's the video, dude." And he was like, "Impressive." Yeah. And but what I find funny about that is, in all seriousness, it has to be something bigger than us, as far as seeing a UFO to bring people together. So I feel like people are really divided these days. So you kind of hope for an alien invasion.
Point. Yeah, he was really excited for it. It was cool.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet. But check out the video and let me know what you guys think. And anyone who's near us, or even if you're far away, did you see anything on the night of the 27th?
Yeah.
Let us know. It was about 9 o'clock p.m. our time, Mountain Standard Time.
Mountain Standard Time.
And crazy stuff.
It was 9 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Yes, there was a dame out there drooling. She was looking up at the sky like a turkey in the rain.
Invaders from Mars?
Whoa! Mars needs moms. Did you ever see that?
No.
Nor did I.
Could be Sputnik. 20 Sputniks lighting the moon. That was a weird one.
What were you saying? Tony Sputnik?
20 Sputniks.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, who's
Tony Sputnik?
Is it Tony Stark's cousin? He's less successful. Tony Sputnik.
His suit always the pieces fall off when he flies. Tony Sputnik, yeah. Oh,
holy shit! There he is. He's always running out of hair.
Brody,
fuck. Not Brody. For him, it's Rhodey. It's Rudy.
Rudy.
Rudy, I need more air.
And he just has like Alexa as his interface.
Yep.
Alexa.
He's always getting a shitty Wi-Fi connection.
Alexa, boost my speed. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Please repeat your question. I'm smoking a, for you guys who care, who like Stogies, who like Stogie mamas, Stogie mama, Liga Privada, not a number 9. I usually go for the number 9, and I'm disappointed that I didn't. I tried something new from Liga Privada. It is a La Gran Fabrica Drew Estate. It's either an H99 or an 1199. Looking at it, I think it's an H99. And yeah, it's I've had better. The number 9 I think is far superior. But this is, the deeper you get into it, the first few puffs taste like shit. But once you get a little deeper into it, this one's tolerable, but I wouldn't say worth the price.
Yeah. And it's a dry summer night and we get a lot of cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth Kings.
Yeah, cottonmouth.
Cotton-eyed Joe.
He's the lead singer.
Cotton-eyed Joe Biden.
That's right.
There it is. You guys like how we moved the sign outdoors?
Yeah, did you notice that? It took a lot of effort.
It's pretty cool. It's super heavy. It's not. It's not heavy at all. But yeah, good time. So yeah, it's a lot of good positive changes in the Unfazed universe lately. Turning 30 on May 30th. It's my golden birthday.
Golden birthday.
Yes, and I know some of you guys will be like, man, this guy's not 40? What the heck? I've always looked older. But no, turning 30 officially, and we'll drop this on the 30th. It'll be a half...
30 on the 30th.
Yes, a half birthday pod, half UFO pod. But yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about just the passage of time in general, because at least, I'm sure you guys get the same way, but I know when a birthday comes around, especially a milestone birthday, it's kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like time is passing by whether we like it or not. And part of me is excited and optimistic because it's like, okay, cool, you get to see another year, a new decade of your life, always optimistic about things. But another part of me is sad because it's like, okay, getting older, the 20s are over now.
Right.
It's like, it reminds you that, our time here is...
limited.
Is limited, yeah. And so it kind of bums me out on one hand, but on the other hand, I get excited. So it's kind of weird, but I wanted to kind of talk to the Unfazed crew about some of the things I learned in my 20s, and maybe some of you guys who are a little bit younger, who might be in their early 20s or whatever, maybe we could instill some lessons in you and give you some warnings on stuff to avoid. And also just looking ahead, things for the channel in the future and things I'd like to do. And Emmett's not too far behind me. He's exactly a year and a half younger than me.
Sure.
So not quite there. You're not quite at the 30 threshold yet, but you're almost there.
And we were just talking at Bay about how 28 already feels like this is the end of the 20s, and then 29 feels like you're already transitioning to 30.
Yeah.
So it's like
transitioning to a woman.
Yeah.
So when I turned 29, it definitely felt like the 20s were coming to an end officially. So it almost kind of like 29 counts, obviously, but it almost feels like an extension of 30 because it's like, hey, you're at the end.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're up next, buddy.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Yeah. The ride of the 20s is over. But on one hand, it's kind of different, I think, at least, my perspective of getting older. I always feel like 30s and 40s for guys especially, and girls too, is like really a time of like, okay, this is when you get shit done. This is like when you make your impact. Yeah. And if you're lucky and smart enough to do it in your 20s, more power to you.
But
but
everyone said. They said 20s is like fun, figuring shit out, and then 30s you start buckling down a little more. So.
Yeah, fun. The funnies. the 20s had its fun, definitely.
A case of the funnies.
A case of the funnies, yeah. The 20s were fun. I think more so in the beginning of the 20s.
Yeah.
And then life happens. You start having other challenges and things come up and life happens. But I definitely think overall my 20s were good, but I definitely, want to make some adjustments and have the 30s be better, ideally,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I hear someone being loud off in the distance.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Like yelling. I don't know what's going on.
There's always someone having some kind of conniption fit in the background.
It sounds like a good time.
Yeah. But the big 3-0 on the 30th, so my golden birthday. I'm kind of like doing it kind of staggered. It's like I'm seeing the friends and family at different times. Gonna go see Matchbox 20 on the 31st. Very excited about that. Maybe I'll see some of you guys there. And definitely seeing some family this weekend. My uncle's coming down from Payson, and I try to see everybody, but not all at once. I'm not big into like big giant parties and like tons of people. I like kind of like smaller groups at different times and like make it more of like a full birthday week as opposed to just
Right.
like one big bash.
Yeah, so,
you know.
Yeah, that's good. That's
You're
good.
kind of the same way.
Yeah, yeah. It's like nice to stretch it out. Nice to get excited for it and
Mhm.
let it ride. Because mine's right after Halloween, so it's like right after Halloween, I kind of get into birthday mood.
That's
Mine's
cool.
November 4th.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So I guess my golden birthday was when I was 4. Yeah?
Wow.
Is that how it works?
Wow, you're a party animal. What happens to people when they turn 32?
Oh.
They're SOL, man. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited about it. There's always it's 50-50. There's like sadness, and then there's like optimism. But I guess we can kind of talk about it, and you can too, because you're at the end of your 20s as well.
And
end of the road, man.
Max took a sharp left turn going into his 30s. 'cause
I
he
remember.
Started,
Yeah.
like, for those of you who don't know, Max started working as a construction worker.
Mhm.
Like that totally came out of left field for
Yeah.
I think all of us. For him too. I think that's what he wanted. Though was sort of a change of pace.
Yeah.
And
Because
but
I
he's-
kind of hit like it. Because Max is, I think, a year and a half older than I am.
Yeah.
And then you're a year and a half younger than I am. So it
Yes.
was kind of like Max hit 31st. Now it's my turn, and then you'll be next. So it's like it's kind of interesting seeing the transition into the new decade of
Yeah.
life. But yeah, as far as like a transitionary state for life for everyone, I've really noticed it this year, and not just because I'm turning 30, but for other friends too, friends who are older and younger. I've seen this as a really big transitionary phase. I feel it myself. I feel the need for change. I feel the need for doing more, accomplishing more, leaving more of an imprint here. You know.
Yeah.
Are you feeling that at all?
Yeah. There's almost like a fear, certainly, that getting like a more intensive job and stuff.
For sure.
There's a fear of like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna lose track of some things that I want to do.
Yeah.
But then there are always like new things on the horizon that I do.
Doodle bop.
Yeah, but yeah, again, Max really hit that because he's always been somewhat of a autodidact, which means like he tries to do everything himself.
Yeah.
But then that kind of went away for a bit when he had his office job. He was just kind of coasting. We were doing a lot of Lefebvre stuff, but we were just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
But now he's really gone back into that with all the welding and construction working, and he's been getting into plants, into botany.
He's a big botanist.
He's got a really good green thumb and
Juicy green thumb.
Yeah, juicy green thumb, and then the other one's purple.
He needs to see a doctor.
That's right. But yeah, he's been really hitting that stuff hard and sort of honing the crafts that he's interested in, and he's also still working on videos.
Mhm.
He's been showing me. He's been hiring someone who started out as a Lefebvre's fan, who's become a really good animator to animate, I think, an intro for his personal YouTube channel.
That's cool.
So, and he's been like, yeah, he's been really working with him intensively, getting this, like, it looks beautiful from what he showed me.
That's
So
awesome.
it looks like he's ready to hit that hard too.
That's
And
cool.
I just started a Star Wars channel.
Yes.
Which I intend
Great
to
stuff,
stick
by
with.
the way.
Thank you. Yeah,
Great stuff,
I
by
got
the way.
that first video out, and then I already have another video. I started writing notes about today.
Yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe to
Yeah.
Emmett's channel.
Yeah.
What's the name of the channel again?
Star Map.
Sorry, man. I
Yeah.
like it.
Thanks,
I like
yeah.
it. That's cool. The first video put a lot of work into it.
Thank you, baby. Yeah, yeah.
It's rare to see such an analytical approach to Star Wars content.
Thanks. Yeah, that's why I figured I could do, because so much
Yeah.
of the Star Wars stuff on YouTube, almost all of it is just like, here's a fun, like factoid about like behind the scenes, or like here's like some history, some lore or whatever. But you never like hear it talked about in sort of more highbrow sense.
Yeah, sometimes like kind of like you said earlier in the last episode, it was kind of like it's either dumb little kids or people who like know like surface level stuff.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see, or like DVD commentary rips. You know.
There's a handful of great video essays about Star Wars topics that I've been watching and getting some inspiration from and getting some knowledge from. But otherwise,
good.
it's just like infiltrated with all this kind of crap.
I get
Where it's
that.
like, it'll be, like, you probably are familiar with, I certainly watched the shit out of them growing up, all the little behind the scenes bonus featurette DVDs that came with it. Yeah.
Yep.
And like, I've noticed on YouTube that you'll just see segments of those turned into shorts.
Mhm.
So it's just like people just like shitting
There's
out.
a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're kind of fun. I still rewatch
Yeah,
them.
yeah, they're great, but it's
feel like-
nothing new, right?
I feel like every morning I see at least one of George Lucas working on the prequels.
Yeah. When I'm at work, I'm
Yeah.
constantly watching George Lucas.
I feel like every time I
Yeah.
poo, I see George Lucas.
Yeah. He's great. I love him, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
But, yeah.
Also an autodidact,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
less as time went on
Yeah, very true.
because
yeah.
he got tired of all the pressure of being director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally true. But, yeah, I don't know. There's certainly... I can feel that we're turning a new leaf in certain ways. And
100%.
the other thing that I felt we can talk about this too, is how there are a lot of things in your 20s that you're afraid to do, that you want to do, but you just can't pull the trigger. Yeah. Now I'm like, let's just do it. Like that kind of fear is going away. Like we're both gonna. I'm gonna stick to it for sure. And I think you will. You've done it before. Is the stand up. We're gonna try and do some stand up.
Officially announced.
Joe List inspired us.
Yes.
And
because I haven't done stand up in probably about 5 years.
Yeah.
And I did it when I was like 18, 19, 20, and then like a couple random times in my 20s. Probably did it like I don't know 8 times altogether.
Yeah.
And then I took a break, it's like, which I regret because I lost that momentum, but Emmett and I are going to get back into it. We both have a lot of material written.
Yep.
And, keep an eye out, and I'll be happy to post some shorts of us performing.
Yeah.
But your boys are getting back on the stand-up stage, and it'll be your first time.
That's right.
Yeah. But he's already got some good material.
Thank you. And what I thought we could do would be kind of fun if they wanted to see it, and it would be good practice for us, is do a live stream of our bits, of our sets. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and then we just be the audience. Just be clapping for you, and you'd be clapping for me, or we can.
I like that.
Invite Max or someone over.
And we could do it kind of like David Spade. He had his Lights Out with David Spade show, and then 2020 everything got shut down, and he was doing it just from his house, and he would have like his girlfriend or his daughter or whoever just like watching him. And he would read jokes, and a lot of them were like ones they didn't use on the show. Right. And he would like deliberately read the bad ones. It was fucking hilarious. Yeah. Like it was like one of those where I'm like, oh, this is really enjoyable.
That's cool.
And it was just him, and it would be like no laughing, and he'd have like a sound that would either be an audience like booing or clapping.
Right, yeah.
And he was very just like super confident, and like even if it didn't hit, like it didn't matter because like there was no real audience like in there. Yeah. And David Spade is like super confident and always kind of cocky in the best kind of way. And so I think we could totally do something like that.
And you guys could be our test audience.
I would love that. I would love to test it out on the babies. But yeah, I love that idea, by the way. We'll do that. Let us know if you guys want to see that, because I think that's something for sure. But yeah, definitely, like I said, turning a new leaf for sure. And I noticed it with the whole friend group too. Like our buddy James, he got married in February. Buddy Alan, he turned 30. Shout out to our buddy Alan Himmis. Update on him, by the way, he graduated from the Coast Guard. He made it through his 2 months of boot camp.
Good man.
So follow him on Instagram. I think it should be linked down below. If not, go to our buddy Alan podcast and follow his Instagram. Send him a supportive message or drop him some nudes, whatever you want. And
his email is mybuddyallen@coastguard.com.
Yes, that's what it is. It's just a picture of him stoic. But he made it through. Great job. He's based in Key West, Florida now. Cool. He's going to be on a cutter ship intercepting cartel pirate smugglers.
Crazy.
Doing crazy shit. But yeah, he made it through. But there's a big life change as well. Alan turned 30 in February.
Right.
And he joined the Coast Guard end of March.
Yeah, see, so Alan's out there shooting pirates, and then Max is out there like walking on skyscraper beams. Like, what the fuck? They both, something snapped, and they're like, I just need to go, get into the danger.
Yeah, and then James married this year. He turns 30 in July.
He's getting into the danger. Yeah.
Hey, Danger Zone, Top Gun. Yeah. He married Val Kilmer.
That's right, yeah. And then I got a new car and a new cat. Not as exciting, but still.
Congratulations.
Yeah, all within 24 hours of each other.
Very exciting, yes. Emmett got a 1998 Mustang.
That's right.
And it's pretty fucking sweet.
Thank you, yeah.
We rode around with the top down.
We did, yeah.
It was very cool.
Down at the clubs with the top down.
It was fun. We went in the Mustang to get some Stogies.
We did, yeah. These very Stogies.
The Stogie Mama.
In the Mustang.
The Stogie Mama, yeah. But no, super fun and super cute cat.
Yep. We don't know. We still don't know what sex it is. We don't know what to name it yet, but it's very cute, very small.
Super unfazed.
Yeah, like 7, 8 weeks old, I think.
Super cute. Yeah. Just want to squeeze the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Spitball some names. Let's say it seems very like high energy. Let's say it's a boy. What do you name it? It's hard to tell. They don't have parts hanging.
Yeah, you need the parts hanging to really deduce the character of the cat. I don't know. Bitch.
That's a good name. What if it's a girl?
Steve.
Okay, I like that. Those are solid names.
I always curse at my cats because I think it's that what is it? Cute aggression.
They're little shitheads.
Man, I let it.
No,
fly.
I cuss at my cats as well.
I tell them it's the end for them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, I call them things I can't say on
YouTube.
Right,
yeah.
But it's all out of love.
It's out of love.
We never actually hurt them.
No,
But it's fun to just go up and grab their head and call them little fuckheads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's out of love.
It's verbal abuse out of love.
Verbal abuse, but they don't know what you're saying.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And of course you say it also like lovingly.
Yeah.
Oh, you son of a bitch, you little piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, big fan of cute aggression. Let me know if you guys partake in that.
I think my point with that is it doesn't almost matter what I call it because I'm just going to be calling it some bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some bullshit.
Yeah.
That's a nice name.
Yeah.
SB. SB, it's a good one.
But
But
when I first saw Max's new cat, it's not new anymore. We had it for a few months.
It's an old piece of shit.
Yeah, it's an old son of it. I just I called him Alexander Muffin because that's just what he looked like. He looked like an Alexander Muffin.
Wow.
And that stuck. And they call it's not his actual official name, but they call him Alexander Muffin.
wow. I still have yet to meet Alexander M.
Alexander. And then
I
when
hear
I've
good
been looking
things.
at this cat, I call it a Funyun sometimes.
Oh, boy.
So it might be just Funyun.
Funyun's a nice, crunchy.
I like Funyuns.
Yes. Kind of naughty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hispanic. It's very fun.
Yes, I don't know.
Very nice. But yeah, it's definitely a noticeable time of transition. Our buddy Tarek as well, he just got a job in cybersecurity. He's moving to Colorado.
Cheers. Yeah.
And like he's 30 as of, I think he's already 30. I think his birthday's like last year. But my point is, things are changing.
Right.
Me, on the other hand, it's like I want to start taking the channel a bit more seriously. We've always taken the channel seriously. I've always tried to give you guys good content, but day job, you know, it's easy to lose sight of it. It's easy to lose steam, easy to lose momentum, easy to be a Funyun Steve.
Yeah.
You know. And I was really thinking about it recently, and I was like thinking about what I do at my day job, thinking about really just the, I don't know, giving of my time in exchange for pay, just like any job is, and thinking like, man, I really want to focus on the channel more, and that's one thing I want to do in my 30s more. I want to set aside just more time for you guys, more time for the channel, and really up the quality of things. I know we've talked about this for a long time, but it is hard to do when you work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
But still have unfazed frights, still want to do some larger things, like we were talking about going to some asylums, going to some prisons, things like that. Abandoned ones, obviously.
That stuff's fun.
And doing some more...
Just volunteer outside.
Yeah, go make some license
straight
plates.
jacket,
Yeah. But there's a lot I want to do, and I feel like we've barely tapped the vastness of human potential.
40,000 years.
Yes. Back to formula.
But yeah, times are changing.
It is what it is. Times are changing, but I'm trying to be unfazed and optimistic and...
Gather around, people.
Get it,
Blaze to the goal.
What the fuck is that, Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Times are
changing.
Like the Watchmen intro. And all the superheroes are dying or whatever.
So Bob Dylan was alright, but I prefer his son Jacob Dylan.
Yeah.
I think Jacob has a smoother voice. I like the Wallflowers more.
I agree.
But hey, Bob's great. I like Tangled Up in Blue. It's a good song.
Why am I all tangled up in blue?
Early one morning the sun was shining. She was lying in bed. Wondered if she changed it all. Her hair was still red.
That was a good one.
It's my Bob Dylan.
That was a good one.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Have you heard? Speaking of this shitty voice, I mean, he has a shitty voice,
It's a little
but
shit.
I don't like his.
It's a little shit. He's more of a lyricist.
Yeah. Have you heard this song? There's so much fucking music out there. You probably haven't, but it's one of those songs that has like billions and billions of views, but like I've never heard of it.
Okay.
Until like a student showed it to me. Golden Hour.
Golden Shower.
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking it's that. But
I don't think so.
yeah, well, it pissed me off because that whole like mumble rap thing is melting into so many other veins of music.
Yeah.
And it's like a piano solo, and then it's like, and actually the chorus isn't bad, but like the first line he says is like, and I'm like, oh, like that stuff makes me want to just fucking puke. Like people just love it, they eat it up, and it blows my mind.
Because they're all stupid.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, no,
I'd
think
take Bob Dylan over that shit any day. You know?
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely take Blood on the Tracks. By Bob Dylan. Yeah, Bob's an acquired taste. It's kind of like, I see his greatness for sure, but on one hand, you got to think there's a little bit of an overrated quality.
Yes.
Yeah. But am I glad he's out there? Absolutely.
Right.
Not saying I could do better. Just he's not necessarily my cup of tea.
Right.
But he has some good stuff though. Tangled Up in Blue, great song. Great song. I can't tell you another one. You know which one I really like? Like a Rolling Stone.
Oh yeah. Classic, yeah.
Like a Rolling Stone. Hey.
So the Rolling Stones said, "No, you can't say
Exactly. Yeah, they were probably pissed off.
Yeah,
I heard they were upset about Rolling Stone magazine because Rolling Stone magazine came out after the Rolling Stones were out.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that is a little weird.
And they weren't even the first ones on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of weird. Kind of backhanded.
It was backhanded.
You know what I like Bob Dylan in? I like Bob Dylan in the Traveling Wilburys. You ever listen to them?
Yeah, he's good in that.
Super group. You got George Harrison, the Beatles. You got Bob Dylan. You got Jeff Lynne from Electric Light Orchestra. You got Roy Orbison for the first album. Then he died like immediately.
Yeah.
But he was great. You had Tom Petty, and I think that was it. But yeah, amazing dudes.
That's good. It was really good.
That was Bob Dylan's best stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you need that group that.
When you get a Beatle and Tom Petty writing your stuff and Jeff Lynne producing it, it's hard to fuck up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Tangled up in blue. There's a moth. There's a moth over there on
like
my
a moth to the
umbrella.
Flag.
There's a moth on
You have
my
an umbrella
umbrella.
light and the moths are all over it.
There's a moth in my smoke.
That's another thing is I've been not finding myself, but just noticing that I
found himself.
I have less of a focus and a drive to either write creatively or make music creatively, which is like kind of at first it was really scary because like I've never had a problem. I've been shitting that stuff out my whole life.
I think it's because of your day job.
Yeah, I think it is too. Yeah, and but yeah, last year I noticed it kind of going away, and I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's kind of frightening, but
I definitely get that.
yeah, I have some stuff with the guy that I usually record with. I have like 6 incomplete songs, and I want to go back, but like first of all, it's hard to sing sometimes because I'm always using my voice at work and stuff. Yeah. And then just the time and the energy is less present.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I haven't had the desire to write anything in well over a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I haven't wanted to write a script. I still write ideas down for bits, for video ideas, and for comedy. I still have a whole bunch of bits I write down, but dedicating more than 3 to 5 minutes to it's I haven't done that in ages. Sitting down, we've written a lot together.
Yeah.
And Emmett's written a lot on his own as well. And sitting down and having that discipline, I haven't had that urge.
Yeah.
I kind of feel it coming back a little bit. It's kind of creeping in a little bit. But it's been dormant.
Yeah. I have a plethora of concepts. I almost don't like that. I'll have 10 concepts for things I can write, but that's all I remain as. And they're either a note in my phone or still just in my head.
For sure.
But I don't have the energy or I feel the time anymore to just sit down and do it.
I totally get that. Yeah. Yeah. One thing I have noticed lately though is I am getting a little more motivation.
That's good.
And it's it was kind of drifting away for a while there, but I noticed I'm more maybe it is because of the birthday, maybe it is because of things changing, where I'm kind of I need to step it up.
Yeah.
And I'm looking more at my notes of different ideas I have, and I have a shit ton of video ideas that we haven't even scratched the surface of yet.
Yeah.
But I feel the motivation creeping in a little bit more, which is nice. It's comforting because it's scary when it goes away for 6 months or a year, and you're like, oh shit, do I even want to do this?
Right.
Because I was asking myself that for a bit. I took a little break from videos, and I was kind of am I still into this? Is this still what I want to do? And the answer is yes. The answer is I still want to. But sometimes, we have these creative, hills and valleys, these ebbs and flows, where it comes on really strong. We're hey, I really want to make stuff. And other times where it's maybe I need to focus on life for a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to kind of recharge. But deep down, it's no, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm all about. I can't go too long without creating, otherwise I get really depressed.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
And it's if I'm not creating something, I'm well, what's the point of anything?
Mm-hmm.
It's this is something that I've definitely found as a channel creatively, not just as a YouTube channel, but I mean just as a creative outlet.
Yeah.
Where it's this is a big part of who I am.
Yeah.
So it's nice to kind of pull away from it for a bit and then remember why you love it.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. It's good.
The other thing that's admittedly a negative, but it's still something that kind of helps you get through everything is sort of two-pronged. I know at work, I am guilty of playing a shitload of phone games. Cell phone games. I play
Absolutely.
I have a Star Wars one, Galaxy of Heroes,
That's
and then I
fun.
have the Harry Potter one.
Nice.
This is called Hogwarts. And
I've been really into Marvel Snap lately.
yeah. And I'll literally just I have them both open, and I'll just kind of switch between the two.
Yeah.
And I will not lie.
I have Mr. Lefebvre, teach us.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I have I've spent not a lot, but multiple times I've spent money on the fucking Star Wars game.
Yeah. You want to unlock those other characters.
Yeah, exactly. And then every time I do it, I'm like, wow, I'm a fucking idiot. But that's the point that it's come to.
Yeah.
And it's just
they're fun.
mindless. Yeah. But it's nothing. It's not even a tangible thing. It'll be spend $5 real to make Anakin Skywalker's defense stats a little higher. So it's it's really at the end of the day, it's insulting. But I'm doing it. It's not. it's of my own free will. I'm choosing to. This is what I need to be doing right now. And then as soon as I do it, I'm like, I really fucked up.
But you're also kind of like, but I got Dash Render.
Exactly. Yeah. And I have my Kyle Katarn is 7 stars. He's maxed out, but I got to unlock Dash Render still, and I have to. Like, I'm excited to do it. But what is it?
I think like, you need these little victories.
Yeah.
It's okay to splurge a little bit.
Yeah. And at the same time, there's this whole sort of microcosmic culture war about man children, people that are sort of trying to recapture their childhood. So I'm certainly guilty of.
I feel like that's our whole generation.
Yeah, but at the same time, like people have always said like, oh, it's great to be a kid. I miss being a kid. Mm-hmm. Rosebud, like that's the whole. It's one of life's great truths is that you're that's a fond time, and your headspace in that time is something you will always carry with you. Yeah. But I think now is the only time that where people are really feel like they're allowed to express that.
For sure.
So it's not necessarily it's a new thing. Everyone's just like this, gay soy boy now. But like people are just allowed to be like, yeah, I still like toys and shit.
You can be more open about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I feel like comic book collecting was always a thing. Even toys from back in the 40s and 50s, people collect those. Like it's not a new thing.
Right. Yeah.
It's just more widespread and more accepted.
Right.
And there's more outlets for it.
Yeah.
And there's more ways to get stuff too. Like you got eBay and shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like people didn't have that a few years ago.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And it's fun. And I have been better about it lately. I have. I only got, I think one action figure in the last month, so that's an improvement.
I got a few new ones.
Yeah.
Emmett got me a couple. As a gift, he got me a Batman Beyond. He got me a Predator from Predator 2, and a very sweet Ghost book.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. It's just I don't know. There's so much fun.
Yeah.
And there's so many toys like I would have wanted as a kid, but like one toy as a kid would be a big deal.
Of course.
And then there were a lot of the ones that fell out of reach, so now it's like, oh, it's time. And then there's some that were I had but I lost, and I was like, I want it again.
Within your reach.
Yeah, they are within your reach.
Yeah. But I got a Superman from the Alex Ross Kingdom Come.
That is fucking cool.
Super.
That's so cool.
It was it's like a Justice League comic.
Yeah.
They did in the late '90s, and they're so sick.
Yeah, so cool.
But it's definitely. It's okay to embrace that,
Yeah, I think so.
And you look at a lot of YouTubers too, and there's like minty comedic arts. That dude has a whole shelf behind him of tons of collectibles, and super common. You get the annoying Funko Pop ones, but you got legit cool collectors out there too.
And then like the whole Jaster Muriel suit that you guys saw me in last time. Again, I don't obviously the fun is just of having it, and being able to wear it and shit. But I do want to I want to use it in other things, and that Star Wars skit that I still want to do for the Faye Bros. And,
we will.
Just I don't know. Yeah, there's endless potential. I feel like especially with videography and stuff like that, you can just it's just fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
you gotta go for it.
Yeah, you gotta go for it. Yeah. I do think some people go overboard, and I think I'm guilty of that myself, going a little overboard. And you see people with their all four walls of their room will be lined with Funko Pops, and it's
it's a little bit much,
but
James.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad because there's a weird dichotomy of you're either this soy boy piece of shit that likes toys, or you're the liver king. There's no in between anymore.
Yeah. I think we've achieved a healthy unfazed balance of I have a lot of collectibles, I have a lot of toys, a lot of comics, a lot of records.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's I'm not a soy boy little bitch.
Right. Yeah.
And neither are you. Yeah. It's one of those. It's you got to strike a balance. You collect what you like, and that's fine. It's we're at the point in our lives where we can and you can afford it, and it's fine.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I've been getting some books, some Star Wars books as well, and I've been sitting down and reading them bit by bit.
Nice.
So that's been nice.
Very cool.
Slowly getting back into that.
Jasper Marillion. Is that his name?
Mariel. Marillion's cool, actually. Though.
Marillion sounds
cool.
Something
the name of a ship. Oh, the Marillion.
The Marillion.
Yeah. Marillion
The Marillion Phuket. It goes at 207 parsecs. That's pretty great.
Oh, man.
It's a little glittery.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't... Anything within reason, right? So it's...
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I think you're taking a good pace, definitely. But as far as other things from the previous decade, one thing I was thinking about actually on the way over here was friendships. Friendships are super important at any point in your life. But one thing I'm sure you guys are probably already starting to notice if you're a little bit younger, or if you're the same age as us, or if you're older especially, you start to lose friends. And it's I'm lucky to have a best buddy like Emmett.
Likewise.
Lucky to have good friends in my life. But along the way, you lose people.
Yeah.
And I definitely lost people. There was one of our buddies we were really good friends with in high school into our early 20s. I remember his name was Nick. Nick, if you're watching, what happened, man? Excuse me. I remember we were real close with him, real tight. I would consider him, one of the core members of our group in high school. And we hung out with him up until early 20s. And I remember at about age 21, 22, I remember me and Alan James, we all started to notice Nick would never reach out to us. We would always reach out to him.
Right.
And whenever he'd get high and hang out with us, he was always like kind of a dick to James. And I remember he started getting kind of edgy with me sometimes. And I was kind of like,
That's annoying, yeah.
what's going on with this guy,
Yeah.
And especially when he was high, and he would be high like all the time, especially in our 20s. And I remember thinking, it's kind of weird, we reach out to him, he never reaches out to us. So just as an experiment one time, I was like, to me and James and Alan, I'm like, hey, let's not reach out to him and see how long it takes for him to reach out to us.
Yeah.
2 months went by. He reached out to me around Christmas time. I was like, hey man, just checking in, how are you? And I responded a few days later, like, I'm doing good, man, what's new with you? Never heard from the guy ever again.
Weird.
I never heard from him. Alan never heard from him. James never heard from him. These days, you can't find him on social media. And so, yeah, some people just aren't your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those guys where it's just like, at one point, yeah, we were really good friends. We were friends, junior and senior year of high school, up through college, all the way up till age 21 or 22. And then I remember noticing, like, he was being kind of a dick in general to James and a little bit to me, but more so to James. And yeah, it was always a one-way street, a one-way friendship. And finally I got to the point where like, well, let's just not hit him up and see what happens. And the dude dropped out of our life.
Yep, yeah.
And it's one of those where it's like, that's fine. And it's like, it's not like I made an enemy out of him. It's like, he's just not our friend.
Right, yeah. I have a handful of friends from high school that I will once in a great while just shoot a text or, but they say with a good friend, if 5 years can go by, but the minute you see them, it feels like it's been 2 seconds or whatever, which is true. But then, there are certain friends that you became friends with out of circumstance.
For sure.
Once the circumstance is over, it's just done, which is
a
little depressing, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I had two good friends at SEC, besides you, of course, in my music program. One was named John, one was named Aaron, and they were just funny. We were so young. We were like doodling in our notebooks and stuff in class.
We
we doodled, and we were just yucking it up and having a good time. And we even hung out outside of school a couple times. But after those classes, it kind of started to go. And then people, I don't know, especially in that age, like 19, 20, 21, people change very rapidly sometimes.
They do, yeah.
And I remember about a year out of classes, I was texting Aaron and just like, seeing how he was doing. I forget exactly what we're talking about, but I said, I always joke that, I think a lot of guys do this, they joke that they're like gay with each other. And I was like, oh baby, I want to kiss you or something like and he really was like angry.
Really?
He was like, wow, I mean, like, why the fuck would you say that? That's like weird, don't talk to me. And he was like, and I was like, at first I was like, are you
joking?
Yeah. And he was like, no, like, stop, I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
I think that was that. It was really weird.
Yeah.
And then at U of A, I had a really good friend named Gabriel, who was just very, very kind. He was in a really bad, and it wasn't a motorcycle, it was like a dirt bike accident or something, and had to have his whole like face reconstructed and everything.
Shit.
And he was like, I think that, I don't want to, I don't want to pin his whole personality on that experience, but he certainly, it was like a near-death thing, and he certainly like humbled him and gave him a lot of cool perspective, and he was very smart and kind and perceptive. I remember a lot of conversations I'd have with him. At a point, I was like, hey, we should like stream just us talking or something, or do a podcast. This is good stuff. Yeah. I remember he sat there and he was like, and he said, I think sometimes it's more special if it's just between us. And I don't know if I'd be comfortable with that. But, And then I remember.
So you punched him?
Yes, I punched
repeatedly.
Him. No, I respected it. The way he said it was more succinct, and I was like, yeah,
for sure,
yeah. And I remember he didn't have a lot of family in that area at the time. So when I think I told you this, when Thanksgiving came around, we invited him.
Oh, nice.
And he spent the Thanksgiving with us. It was just my family, and then it was him.
Nice.
And he just literally just had Thanksgiving dinner with us, and we watched a movie, and then we
Nice, man.
walked around the neighborhood here, and
That's cool.
yeah, but now I never talked to him anymore.
No, and you're like, hey man, you want to watch Easy Rider?
Exactly.
No, I'm sorry.
No,
No,
but
he seems like
great
a nice guy.
He's
Yeah.
a really great, special guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just we bear no relevance to each other's lives anymore. So it's
Yeah,
it's
no,
done,
that definitely happens, and I'm sure he's a good dude.
Yeah,
It's like
great guy,
you're still, you could pick up where you left off if you wanted. There's a lot of friends like that, but it just times in your life change. And I heard someone say one time, friends change like the seasons.
Yeah.
Sometimes, so it's kind of like I get that. And we have some friends like my buddy Brian Desarn. Great guy, love Brian. Haven't seen him in a couple of years,
Yeah.
but I know we could pick right up where we left off.
Yeah.
Because like he's a great dude. Still love the guy as a friend. But literally haven't seen him in person in probably like 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's like I know he's got like a kid and a family now and all this, and it's just like, last time I saw him was like probably around 1 or 2 times after Bachelors of Scottsdale, and like that was it.
Wow, interesting.
But that being said, that's a guy I'm sure we could pick right up where we left off. Still a friend, but life happens, you know, and that's okay. You guys will see that definitely as you get older, and there's nothing wrong with it,
I do think just looking at, and I do think the key to like lasting friendships like ours is similarities.
Yes.
Because I can't.
we have a lot of common interests.
Yeah, we have a lot of common interests and just common sensibility.
Yeah.
It even goes beyond interests. It's like, I would trust your judgment with like pretty much anything. I can't think of anything. I wouldn't trust you. Yeah, I just like, I think there's a large degree of comfort in that when you like, really trust someone fully in that way.
Yeah.
And
fun fact, this August will be 10 years of being homeless.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's great.
10 years.
It sounded like you said 10 years of being homeless.
Yeah, being
10 years of
homeless.
being
Too,
homeless.
yeah.
Both of us.
Because we live under a bridge. Yeah. No, being friends. We've been friends for 10 years. And that's a milestone.
Yeah, that's a milestone.
And I think from the get-go we did creative shit together, too, which is kind of a rarity with people,
Yeah, because I think testing the waters with a friend, like there's even a lot of great friends from high school. If I would hang out with them outside of school, like go to their house or go to the mall or something, there would come a point where the connection was just like done. It was done. It was kind of severed.
Sure.
I could tell they were getting bored, and I was kind of getting bored too. Like our relevance to each other, we'd exhausted it, and then we're just like, okay. But if you're similar enough, that just like keeps rolling and snowballs into YouTube channels and projects of any kind.
When you feed off each other creatively. It's like it's weird when you go to someone and like I'm sure you've noticed this too. You hang with some people and you're just like straight up drained.
Yes.
Like there's some people where I leave and I'm just like, oh, like I don't like you.
Yeah.
I'm like, and that's okay. There's nothing necessarily wrong with those people. It's just that sometimes you just don't jive. You don't have a connection.
Yeah.
And it's the same with dating. You'll feel that sometimes you have a first date where you're just like, this isn't a thing. And that's okay. And I think the same can be applied to any kind of relationship, friendship, whatever.
For sure.
But yeah, I guess in a roundabout, long-winded, Ben Kenobi type of way, my thing is like, your friends who you really get a good vibe from and who you connect with, nurture those friendships because friendships are important. But if you have friendships that are no longer serving you, cut that shit.
Yeah.
Quit reaching out to them. You don't have to make it a big grand thing of like, hey, I don't want to be your friend anymore. But like, if it's a one-way street or if they're like subtly putting you down or you just don't fully enjoy their company anymore, don't fucking hang out with them.
Right. Yeah.
Just get really busy and be like, I can't hang out. Or you'll find that they don't reach out to you at all. And sometimes that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah. Find your own Ben and find your own Emmett.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's okay to do stuff on your own, too. That's one thing I found a lot through my 20s, too, is like, it's okay to take a trip by yourself. It's okay to go to a show by yourself. It's okay to do stuff and be independent,
Right.
I was talking to Alan about that recently because he's out in Florida right now and has some downtime before he goes onto the ship. And he's like, I'm not used to having this much time alone. And I'm like the opposite. I'm like, I fucking thrive on that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I do great with that.
Right.
But I can see how some people, it's like if you're always used to a group dynamic and lots of people, it's like it could be kind of strange. But I think it's important. I would encourage everybody, out there in the Unfazed community to take a trip by yourself. Like if you've never taken a trip by yourself, like obviously be safe. If it's like caboose or something, like don't be an idiot. Don't put yourself in danger. But take a trip. Go somewhere you've never been. Just like be independent, be self-reliant. Like it's a really great feeling. And one thing I find with traveling by yourself is like it's really easy to meet new people. Also, it's like they can like smell that like you're on your own and open to new experiences.
Yeah,
which is pretty sick.
I think being able to be not only self-sufficient but happy and comfortable alone is the sign of a sound mind.
100%.
I think a lot of people have trouble being alone, and that tells you that maybe there's something they're trying to avoid.
Unless you're Howard Hughes.
Yeah, unless you're Howard Hughes.
Then he likes to be alone and piss in a jar. Now that's a whole other topic for another podcast. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's important to be able to be alone and enjoy yourself and what you're doing and do things by yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
There's
a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah, there's strength in that.
Yeah, there's strength in that.
Yeah, and it is weird to hear someone say that. You know, like you said, not to pick on Alan. I love Alan. He's our boy, but you know, he was saying he's not used to doing a lot of stuff on his own. So I think it is very good for him to go into something like this. Yeah, it's very brave of him, you know. But brave little toaster.
Yeah, he's a brave little toaster.
He's the brave little Himmus Coast Guard. Yeah. But no, definitely and I feel like that's relevant at any point, even if there's older viewers watching this, like you guys could probably relate to that. It's like, sometimes you gotta cut people out. Yeah. Yeah, very true. Yeah. But, that's all I have to say about that. Let's see, what else? What other stuff about the 20s and 30s? I would say, I think we talked about this before, like on like one other podcast, like talking about like regrets or things you'd change. I would say I would have wanted to have been less impulsive. I feel like, I definitely spent a lot of time drinking. Like I drank a shit ton of alcohol, and a lot of that I don't regret. Like a lot of that was fun. Did a lot of partying. Had a lot of great wild experiences. Like it was a good time.
I do look back on it fondly. Yeah.
Yes, there was a lot of times where it was like we did a lot of clubbing.
Yeah.
Like a lot. It was fun. It was good at that point in time. But there is a point too where it's like, looking at my 30s, it's like, I don't want to party nearly as much. I want to do different, more fulfilling things. Yeah, I still want to like enjoy myself and cut loose once in a while, but throttle it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my thing is, it's like, it's okay to drink once in a while and party, or have like a Warhammer lifestyle and go out and enjoy your beers, But, for some people, you want to be careful. You want to make sure you're not getting fucked up every night of the week. Make sure you're not, going overboard and, risking overdosing and doing drugs and shit like that. Like that's not worth it. You know what I mean? But there's definitely a difference between partying casually and partying excessively, and sometimes that can be a fine line as time goes on.
Yeah, and we're pretty in tune with that. Even just tonight and for a while, whenever we go by the clubs, we're like, man, that sounds awful.
Yeah. I definitely outgrew the clubs. Yeah. I would say at about age 23, 24, I was like done with them.
Right.
We'll still go once in a blue moon, but like I'm never like on a Saturday night like, oh, let's go to the Scottsdale clubs and party. Like that's something I think just as you get older, you naturally grow out of.
I'm happier to drink at home or just with friends.
100%.
At their place now,
Yeah, I'd rather do that. If I am going to do something like that, I'd rather be like with a few friends in like a dark dive bar.
Yeah.
Or a comfortable location or at home. Mm-hmm. But yeah, going out to the clubs and shit, like, maybe one out of 100 times it sounds fun. But like, not like when I was 21, 22. It's just not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And if you guys are into that, that's cool. But like, I definitely outgrew it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's a thing I would 50-50 on. Like I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I partied as hard as I did in my 20s. But another part is like, wow, that time you can't get back. So like, I would say like 75% of it was fun, but a quarter was like, oh man, I got too fucked up, or I wasted too much money or too much time or whatever. So yeah, moving forward is something I definitely am not even remotely worried about because I feel like I outgrew it.
Yeah.
But I think to some of you guys that are still like maybe in your early 20s, like throttle it back a little bit. I mean, go have fun, but don't hurt yourself either.
Yeah, you don't want any lasting negative effects.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, be smart about it. If you're gonna party safe. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I think my main takeaway would be do the things you were always hesitant to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was always hesitant to perform live music and stuff, and I do it here or there.
Yeah.
But I really like went hard in the last year or so
performing
live. Yeah, thanks.
You perform like live every weekend.
Yeah, and it's been a blast, and not to brag, but it's not like we play like sellout shows or anything. But there's always like at least one person every show who's like, man, you play a fucking hell of a piano.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thanks so much. So I think the things you're hesitant to do, you're probably pretty more proficient at than you think.
100%. Yeah.
So
Yeah. My thing is like, for instance, stand-up comedy, or in your case, the music, right? A few years ago, like doing it and going up on stage, I remember I was like sick nervous. Like it's like I was able to do it and hide the nervousness, but it was like, dude, stomach turning, like fucking dreading it. Like I was like so nervous, which is crazy because like even though I'd done it before and it's something I wanted to do, I was still so fucking nervous. And now it's like the thought of it, I'm like more excited.
Yeah.
I'm more like, oh, this is something I want to do. Like,
Good, yeah.
Like I'm like, super eager about it. And I feel like probably like you with the music, you realize like, okay, our time's limited. We're not getting any younger. Let's fucking make it happen.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I don't want to be like 75, 80, you know, if I am lucky to live that long enough or that long, I don't want to look back and be like, oh fuck, I wish I would have done that. Because like that's such a shitty feeling even at the age I'm at now. Thinking about like 5-10 years ago and be like, why didn't I just do that?
Right, yeah.
Like you look back on that and where you're like, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, it's like, you know, obviously you go down that rabbit hole, like, yeah, bad shit could happen. But most cases, nothing terrible is going to happen. Like you're going to go up there, you might embarrass yourself. Okay, who cares?
Your ego's a little hurt, but then everyone's going to forget.
You embarrass yourself in front of some strangers and maybe a few friends. It's like, you move on, dude. Like that's a part of life. But I think the risk-reward ratio is like, it's way bigger than we think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if I would have stuck with stand-up for the last 10 years, it's like, who knows where I'd be, you know what I mean? And if anything, at least you'd have a lot of cool experiences, even if you didn't get famous.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
And my thing is, it's like, I think now it would be really cool because, A, we can share it with you guys on YouTube, so even if it's like a small crowd at the 10 p.m. prov, it's like I could still like make some clips of me and Emmett performing.
That'd be cool.
And that in itself, I think, is worth it.
Yeah.
Like literally, even if it's like, even if we don't make it big as comics, it's like you guys could still watch it, and it's like a whole new presentation for our shit.
We could make them YouTube shorts, and then we could insert more laughter.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Make us look like big time comedians.
Yeah.
Tighten the shot.
That would be nice. Yeah. Zoom in on the improv sign behind us. But yeah, just freaking do it.
Yeah. The only thing is that it's unfortunate that it takes so long for anyone to get over it. You know?
Yeah.
It does, but you will eventually get over it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's some stuff too where I'm like, even travel is just like, obviously time and money is a huge factor.
Yeah.
But when you can swing it, just take the trip, man. Like you very rarely regret a trip unless you ride on the fucking Titanic. It's like, you know, in most cases, if everything goes off without a hitch, like you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have novel experiences. You're gonna meet new people. You're gonna see cool shit. And like, yeah, just do it. I feel like, you know, the getting stuck in the day-to-day grind is like one of the worst fucking things. It just sucks your soul. Yeah. And you know and I get it, we all have to work, right? But like when you let that become like such a big part of your identity, and you don't have anything else going on the side, like it really just sucks your soul.
Yeah, exactly. I think the only regret I have like creatively was remember when we did Great American Pitch Fest?
No. Yes.
I pitched my script called The Monitors. Monitors, I can't speak.
Good one.
Thank you.
It was a good one.
And I won't go into what it's about, but anyway, I pitched it to one of those people.
I heard something shaking
something down there. Probably just a bird or something.
Something shaking.
I pitched it to one producer lady who was really into it. I don't remember the production company it was. It wasn't anything major. Certainly.
I'm a bitch Productions.
Yeah. But she was really into it. She wanted to hear more, and she gave me her card. And she was really just like, send it to me. And I never did. Because like in my young mind, you know, you have such lofty goals and you have such a high sense of what is going to happen and what you can do. I was like, I don't want them to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, what did I think was going to happen?
Yeah.
I was going to do a better job, me personally. It's like
I used to think that too.
Yeah, right? I would rather have had, and who knows, I mean, it probably wouldn't have even, if I had sent it to them, there's still a slim chance it would have actually come to fruition anyway.
The real Slim Shady.
Exactly, yeah. But I'd rather have a shitty movie to watch that's based on my script than nothing at all.
No, you're right.
You know, so yes, it's like I don't know, just get your stuff out there and don't be like cagey about it like I was.
Exactly, yeah.
And everyone
because ideas are floating around, and like there's so many times we've said this on other podcasts. You'll have two stories that are like almost identical.
Yeah.
And they'll still get both made into shows or movies, and you're like, well, fuck, they're like identical, and they're still different in their own way.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But yeah, and I would say also another thing too is like all the sets that I worked on as free labor for people who weren't appreciative. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I worked on lots of stuff, and I would say focus on your own stuff. Focus on stuff with like-minded people and put it on YouTube. I'm not saying totally don't volunteer on sets. Like that's fine to get some experience, but don't get exploited. Like not saying that I really got exploited fully, but it was trending that way. I was doing a lot of free labor on projects that went nowhere, that weren't my own, and I very quickly learned, like, you know what, fuck this. Like, I want to work on my own stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So do that, be true to yourself, and don't take shit. I feel like when I was younger, too, like, I let a lot of people, like, walk all over me or, like, be very rude to me in certain situations, and I like didn't stand up for myself. Then as I got older, like it's okay to say like, "Hey, fuck off." Like it's okay. Like even at work, like I remember having confrontations with people at work as I got older, and like if that would have been my early 20s, I would have been like, "Oh."
Right.
But I remember that douchebag when we went to that outreach event for my old job.
Yes.
And he was a manager. And he was like giving me shit, and I like literally had to pull him aside and be like, "Hey man, like you're being a dick, stop."
Yeah.
And it was one of those where it's like, even though he was a manager, I had to talk to him man to man and be like, "Hey, you can't talk to me like that."
Yeah.
And like you have to do that. And I feel like the older you get, the more confident you get, the more comfort you are with like asserting yourself and saying that like, no, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. True. That is a really important life goal or life skill.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I'm not sure what. I don't know. I guess there comes a time where you realize that's bullshit. But yeah, in the beginning, everyone's like, like sort of not a goody two shoes, but yeah, I'm gonna do my best, sir, and you can slap me around. But then you're right. There just comes a time where you're like, no.
Yeah. And it's kind of weird too. The older I get, and I'm sure you've noticed this too, like a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
A lot of people are faking it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like
when you see the behind the scenes, you're like, this is hanging by a thread.
Yeah.
And you thought it was
You thought everything was running smoothly, but like a lot of people, even though they're 35 or 40 or 50 or whatever, and they're running the show, like sometimes they're still a confused like fucking 19-year-old that don't know what the fuck they're doing. They just have more wrinkles and more money.
Yep.
But it's like
exactly,
not everyone has all the answers, and sometimes you have to question things, definitely. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, don't be a fucking sheep, you know.
Yeah. Don't be a sheep.
that's my goal or my message for you guys. Yeah, I don't know why I really felt the need to give this message to you guys, but like it seems important,
That's
you know.
One, yeah.
It's like because I love the Unfazed crew.
It is a milestone. It's a big milestone. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like. That's kind of a benefit of the pod is like maybe if we do learn something, we can kind of like tell you guys, hey, steer clear of that, or do this, it worked for us, or whatever. It's just kind of cool being able to talk to you guys on this level.
Yeah, and you're going into your 30s is an important milestone because I think in your 20s you're still in a lot of ways like an old kid.
Yeah,
because that's that. You're still in that headspace, and
now we're just really old.
Yeah. Like you said, you're just like a 19-year-old with more wrinkles, and I think everyone feels, even like older people still feel like, man, But I think it's going into your 30s that you mentally transform from that more kid-like headspace into truly like an adult headspace. And
a lot of people I follow on, not to interrupt you, but to piggyback off that, like Rich Cooper. I remember he was saying he didn't really like hit his stride until his 30s.
Yeah.
And even then, he didn't become like, the author mindset and the red pill type guy that he is and the content creator until his mid to late 40s.
Right.
So it's like he didn't really like start accomplishing anything as a business person until his 30s.
Yeah.
And he didn't really do anything that, he wanted to show people until his 40s.
Yeah.
So it's like that says a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Yes. Time for one more commercial break, guys, and then we'll wrap it up with a brief little shit talk.
I can't believe you did this.
Just a little party.
Little?
Big party, unexpected guests, yet she's still dry and fresh.
That was so sweet of you.
Hey, you're only 30 once.
Thank goodness.
Shower Fresh Secrets pH balanced for women.
I haven't danced with a birthday girl.
And when you need it most, it works to keep you shower fresh.
You smell great. Happy birthday.
On February 26th, Bill Foster will abandon his car. And decide he's had enough.
Give me some money. Give us your briefcase.
Of life in the 90s.
You forgot the briefcase!
Academy Award winner Michael Douglas. And Academy Award winner Robert Duvall. In the one movie critics say everyone will be talking about. Falling Down.
Just standing up for my rights as a consumer.
Rated R. Starts Friday, February 26th at a theater near you.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
Oh, really?
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
Welcome back from that brief but necessary intermission. Did you like those commercials? I hope so. All right, so Emmett's pulling up fun history from May 30th, 1993. The day Ben came into this earth.
I got it all for you here.
Let's see.
Sunday, May 30th, 1993.
Ooh,
the
Sunday.
day Ben Steerick was brought into this world.
Yes, 1:11 a.m.
The day of the week was Sunday, the 150th day of the year 1993, under the sign of Gemini.
I'm a Gemini.
Famous Pop up.
Whoa.
Famous birthdays on this day include Sota Fukushi and Sota Fukushi. I'm not kidding, it says it twice.
Beautiful.
The number one song in the U.S. was That's the Way Love Goes by Janet Jackson.
Nice. Okay.
5 Live EP by George Michael and Queen with Lisa Stansfield.
I like George
Was
Michael.
number one song in the UK.
Okay.
Ticks, directed by Tony Randall, was one of the most viewed movies released in 1993, while I'll Be Seeing You by Mary Higgins Clark was one of the best-selling books.
Never heard of either.
TV people were watching Salto Postal. If you like video games, you were probably playing Cosmology of Cryo.
These sound made up.
Or Dragon Slayer 3.
This is an alternate universe?
The Curse of Mordred.
Holy shit. Okay.
The U.S. president was Bill Clinton.
Nice.
Prime Minister was Sir John
Monica.
John Mayer.
Monica, I'm going to get a
Pope
cigar.
St. John Paul II was leading the Catholic Church.
John Paul Jones.
Oh, let's see events.
93 was a great year for movies. That's a year I'm very proud of the movies. You got Jurassic Park.
Yep.
You got, I think, Encino Man, or that might have been 92.
I don't know. I'll look at movies from 93.
There were some good ones. There were some big ones.
We got some rockin' historical events here, though.
Let's go.
Betsy King wins the J.C. Penney Game Golf Tournament.
Shit.
Kelly Robbins wins LPGA Corning Golf.
Nice. Wow.
Sun Ra, American blues pianist, dies of a stroke.
Wow. R.I.P., man.
Yeah.
Sun Ra.
Yeah.
Okay. He was leaving as I was entering.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The
Earth.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Good times.
Let's see. Famous deaths. Other May 30th famous deaths. Jean-Claude Braley and Ella Raines. I don't know who those people are.
I know I have some good ones. I have Mel Blanc, Bugs Bunny's voice. Benny Goodman, the jazz performer.
That's cool. CeeLo Green, you said.
CeeLo Green. I think Daniel Tosh has the same birthday.
Yes, yeah.
And somebody else. Duncan Jones, the director. David Bowie's son, who did Moon. That's one I'm proud of for sure.
This is some cool. You got some cool movies of this the whole year.
Okay.
Jurassic Park. I guess a Metallica movie.
Sick. All right.
Oh, but that's not. This is 2006. Why does it say 1993? That's weird.
Maybe the tour.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, Jurassic Park, Falling Down.
One of my favorites. Joel Schumacher.
Yep.
Yeah.
Schindler's List.
Oh.
Body Snatchers.
Lighthearted comedy. Schindler's List.
That's right. Nightmare Before Christmas. Is it that old?
Really?
Wow. That's what it says.
I thought that was.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Let's see. Demolition Man. Killzone. A lot of cool action movies. The Outfit. Invisible Man. Secret Garden. Coneheads.
Love Coneheads.
I'm
Beldar from France.
Searching for Bobby Fischer.
Oh,
that was
okay.
a good one.
Okay.
Batman, Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Animated.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Oh, yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a sad fucking movie.
Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Classic.
Left Field. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Great.
Classic.
Great one, yeah.
Just a picture of Rita from Power Rangers.
Oh, nice.
So
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Dennis the Menace. And
Jurassic Park was the big one.
yeah, now it's just a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think Encino Man was 93.
Yeah. Oh, Hocus Pocus.
Oh,
Ninja
okay.
Turtles 3.
Oh, the Chinese one.
Yeah.
Or Japanese.
Yeah.
They had like the,
And Last Action Hero.
Oh, Arnold, yeah.
You got some cool stuff.
You got the Arnold 93.
Yeah. Sailor Moon.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah. That was a fun year. Groundhog Day.
Love Groundhog Day.
You got a lot of cool ones.
That was the last collaboration with Bill Murray and Ivan Reitman, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Or no, Harold Ramis. I'm sorry, Harold Ramis.
That's a good movie.
It's a great
classic,
one. Yeah. What were some 94 ones? Because you were November of 94. Let's see 94.
94.
You had some good... I mean, the whole 90s were just fantastic. You have Dumb and Dumber. I know it was 94. I think Forrest Gump. Was Forrest Gump. Maybe 94, 95.
Ooh, I got some cool ones. I got Shawshank Redemption. Leon the Professional.
Okay.
Forrest Gump in 4K. I don't know why it says 4K. The Crow.
Okay. I think Philadelphia came out the year because Tom Hanks won back-to-back Academy Awards for it.
Okay. Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Classic.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The Mask.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Big year for Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Ed Wood.
Good. Fun one.
Yeah.
Fun one, yeah.
I got Page Master. I love the Page Master.
Fun,
That's
okay.
a good one.
I always get that in the Never Ending Story mixed up.
Yeah, there's some. Let's see. Interview with a Vampire.
Fun.
Yep.
That was in '94.
Yeah.
I thought that was like '99.
I know.
But I guess because Kirsten Dunst was so little.
Yeah.
She was like 13 or something like that.
Let's see. Got a bunch of bad ones I haven't heard about. Man, there's some bad. Dragon World.
A lot of
Never heard of
lot
that.
of good music
Yeah.
in that time too.
Yeah, that's true.
A
The
lot of
music
good
was
music.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Nirvana at the top of the
Yeah.
charts before Kurt went.
Man, the 90s. It was the top film
Yeah.
before The Lion King.
Lion King.
I guess it was still in theaters. In
Okay,
94,
yeah. Because I think it came out in '93.
Yeah, so was Forrest Gump was still in theaters.
Dude,
yeah.
I was obsessed with Lion King when I was a kid.
Wow.
I was like, that was like the
Yeah.
first movie I remember like really watching on repeat when I was super little.
That's cool.
And I very quickly advanced from that to Indiana Jones and Star Wars, and then very quickly after that advanced to like Terminator.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like age 4 or 5. You know.
Speaking of, there is that new Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Got bad reviews.
It doesn't surprise me at all. It looks like shit, but I'm gonna still go see it because I love the character.
Yeah.
I love Harrison Ford. Not Spielberg's directing it. James Mangold's directing it, who I like from 3:10 to Yuma and Logan. But
3:10 to Yuma was fantastic.
it's one of the best movies ever, I think.
Yeah.
But is it gonna suck? Probably. Like it's like I can just kind of tell from the trailer.
Yeah.
But like, am I gonna try to see the silver lining? Am I gonna try to have a good time? Am I gonna go in with no expectations?
You're gonna see the Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah, I will definitely. And Bradley Cooper would have been a good Harrison Ford type Indiana Jones.
Yeah, you're right. I never thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want anyone to replace Harrison, but
No.
eventually you're gonna have to have someone similar, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, will I go see it? 100%. Will I try to have an open mind? Sure, but will it be shit? Probably.
Yeah.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was shit.
Yeah.
Half of it was good.
With Shia LaBeouf as a greaser. And
Yeah, I feel like the first half was good, but the ending sucked. balls,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. It got a little goofy. At the
Swinging
end.
on the vines with the monkeys and the
Yeah.
aliens. I'm like, this is too
Yeah,
much.
they didn't have to do that. Yeah.
I was missing the beautiful practical effects of like Temple of Doom. but
Yeah.
My favorite Indiana Jones is probably Last Crusade with Sean Connery.
That one is really cool. That is probably the best one.
I love them all, but that one, like for whatever reason, I hold it to like a little higher esteem.
Yeah.
But they're all great. I love Indiana Jones.
It is a good one.
You can't go wrong. But even if it sucks, man, you gotta hand it to Harrison Ford. He's like 80 when this movie was made.
Yeah.
He's turning 81. Like, good for him.
Fucking insane.
Like,
it's insane. Yeah.
That's incredible. Even if it's a bad movie, like the fact he's still doing it, like, awesome.
He confuses me because he's always like, I fucking hate this. I want to stop. And
Yeah.
he's like, all right, one more.
Never wants it to end.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if he's going to be married to the character Marion in the movie, Marion from Raiders of the Lost Ark, Marion Barry. Because on the poster at AMC when I went yesterday, he had a wedding ring, we noticed. Actually, James' wife, Kim, noticed. And she's like, is Indy married? And I'm like, that's a good catch.
Is that actress still alive?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
she is, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see if that was just a mistake from a photo shoot and Harrison just had his ring on,
Yeah.
or if the character's married in the movie.
That would make sense that he would be.
Yeah, I think so, because they got together at the end of
Yeah.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
You didn't see her in the trailer at all.
No.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe she passed away. They always love killing off characters when the actresses are still alive.
They do.
Yeah, and I'm sure the cast hates that. Because they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, will I go see it? For sure. But expect a complaint-filled review, for sure.
Yeah.
An Unfazed review.
Yeah, we'll be an Unfazed review. And then there's The Flash. We got to see.
Yes, I will go see The Flash. Just for Keaton.
Yeah, the Hollywood keeps pulling a fast one because they come out with this shit and then they give us something like, Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, so they know we all have to see it.
Just give us Batman Beyond.
Yeah,
Just give us fucking Batman Beyond.
Yeah, Michael Keaton training the McGinnis.
Like, it's almost like they're like, hey, we can't make a Batman Beyond, but let's do it with The Flash, and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
I don't care about fucking Ezra Miller, dude.
I know.
Like,
He
he sucks.
I always hated him from what was the first one that he was in, Justice League. Or
Yeah, I mean, Flash,
yeah.
great character. Like, love the Flash. He's awesome. Who doesn't like the Flash? Just like Green Lantern, badass. But casting is super important.
I'd rather the CW Flash.
Me too. Me too.
That guy seems fine.
Yeah, people
That's
seem
the
to really
problem.
like those too.
Yeah.
But
like shit to me.
yeah,
the Supergirl look bad.
Supergirl looks so bad.
Yeah, the Supergirl in this movie looks
our
terrible.
kids might want to see this. Shut the fuck up.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Stupid.
She's always supposed to be blonde, and like every comic of her, she's like this, you know, like Barbie doll. Almost.
I bet she's going to be a very hardcore elite feminist and probably a lesbian.
Probably.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
They got a very sexy suit. It has all these lines that are very like.
I like the sexy suit.
Yeah.
I like the sexy suit. But
I don't know. It's just not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just give us Batman Beyond. That's all we really want. Yeah. I feel like we should wrap the pod with like. What should we do? Some kind of rapid fire thing. Some kind of fun. What do you think? You pick. You pick how we ended. I picked how we started with the aliens. You pick the ending. You pick the ending, sir.
Let's see. Started with the aliens. Well.
Oh, by the way, guys, still very gradually growing subscribers on the Unfazed Frights channel.
It's true.
My wish is that you all subscribe to Unfazed Frights because we have like over 1,500 subscribers on Unfazed Review, and I think we have like 105 on Unfazed Frights. So get over there, check it out, because there's going to be some really, really cool, spooky content coming very soon. And there's a backlog of content on there already.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. What I don't know about a rapid fire thing, what you brought to mind was, and you were mentioning earlier, is that that Ouija board session that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, please do check that out. It's kind of sitting there, and it still blows my mind to this day.
Yeah, it's like one of the best videos with the most real paranormal activity we've ever caught.
Yeah.
And like, it didn't even break 1,000 views.
I know.
And like, to this day, it scares me.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was so intense, dude.
It scared the owner. He didn't want to go ahead anymore. I want to like ask him if he still has it.
Yes.
And then maybe go back and do it. I feel like I saw one thing on his Instagram a long while back where he had it out again with someone else. So maybe he still has it.
Maybe. I know he added more to that oddities room, and I know I follow him on Instagram. If you guys don't follow Terror Trader, Trader, on Instagram, because he'll post videos once in a while of things falling off shelves, you know, dolls being thrown across the room, posters and pictures falling down, glass breaking, and like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no breeze, there's no clear reason why these things are falling down.
Yeah.
So, you know, it leads me to believe it's all paranormal. And whether you guys believe that or not, just check it out, because like Emmett was pretty skeptical when we first started this, and you got to admit there's something with Terror Trader, right, dude?
Yeah, no, that whole thing with the Ouija board was bizarre.
Yeah,
it was fucking bizarre.
Yeah, there's something going on there, which is exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting because it's like there's proof that there's something going on.
I wanted to keep going, but I had to respect the owner, of course.
Yeah, and he also felt like he had been choked, so he was really like he said in the video that was the first time he ever felt scared in his own shop.
Yeah,
which was pretty badass.
Yeah,
for us.
He seems to be doing really well now. Every time I see him,
he's a great dude and super nice. Shout out to Jason, and his store is doing fantastic.
Yeah.
And they're really, him in particular is really an expert at marketing.
Yeah,
like their Instagram is on point, like super popular, and they also have a podcast that's pretty good too. It's called I think the Terror Cast or something like that. Yeah, which is pretty sweet. So good for them. Would love to do a follow up there definitely, and I don't know if I'd want to fuck with the Ouija board, but we'll see what happens.
I would do it.
We'll see what happens.
I would go in there alone.
I'll record in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm pretty brave with that stuff, but you hear some really horrific stories of Ouija board stuff.
I want to bring the Ouija board in the oddities room.
Oh, there you go.
That'd be cool.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
It would be fun to sleep in the oddities room.
Yeah.
Not a lot of sleeping would happen.
I'd be more scared to do that just because I know I'd like, I kind of half wake up in my sleep a lot and turn over.
Yeah.
And if I were to do that in the oddities room, you see like skulls and shit, and I'd forget where I was. I'd probably freak out.
Yeah, I might have a panic attack. What I worry about there is it does seem, from a ghost hunting perspective, like they can kind of break through the barrier there and they can touch you and shit. And that's what I don't like, because like Jason, who's like a real badass, like the guy was like a Marine, and like he's like surrounded by the creepy stuff all the time, like he thrives on it. Like he felt like he was being choked and like he got scared and was uncomfortable. Someone like that who's a true badass like feels that, and he's like, the owner of the shop. Like, imagine sleeping there by yourself, like, one of us. Like, you'd feel very vulnerable for sure.
I'd sleep there with Baby. If we could sleep with Ruby in our tent, we could do it.
Absolutely. Ruby was fucking scary.
Really fucking scary.
Ruby was really scary. Yeah.
I wouldn't do that right now.
Dude, yeah. That was like legit scary. I don't know if the fear of the situation like really translated on video for you guys, because like, when you're watching from the comfort of your own home in your room, like with your blanket, watching Unfazed, it's different. Yeah. But when you're out there and it's like freezing cold, and like you hear what sounds like footsteps outside your tent.
Yeah.
And it's like this abandoned ghost town, and there's like one person within like the next 20 miles. Like it's scary as fuck.
Yeah, we still. I don't know what those footsteps were.
I don't know either.
I forgot what those footsteps.
I'm glad we had a weapon.
Yeah. I'm glad
Yeah. I think when I go back, I'd like to have a second weapon with us, and
got your bear spray.
bear spray for sure, and might want to sleep in a car just because it was so fucking cold.
Yeah.
And also, it is. I mean, I get it. Some of you guys might be, more badass and wilderness savvy than us, but I'm not really a big fan of tents.
They're always uncomfortable.
They're really uncomfortable, and it's like also it's nice to have a door you can lock.
Yes.
Especially if you're like in an area like that where you don't really know the lay of the land.
Tents are always just like, here I am.
Yeah.
Look at me, Yeah.
And it sucks because you can't see out, and like, let's say a bear comes up on you, like you're fucked. But if you're in your car, you can drive away.
Yeah.
So I might want to sleep in my car next time, but whatever. Call me crazy.
No, yeah, car sounds good.
Yeah, car does sound good. Anyway, anything else you'd like to?
I think that's about it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching, and I appreciate the patrons. If you guys want to become a patron, we have some really neat stuff. We have Patreon exclusives. We're going to keep adding more of once we get more patrons, and also thinking about doing a patron-only podcast. Obviously, we only have a few patrons right now, so it would be short, 10 to 15 minutes. But as the audience grows and we get more patrons and we get more cash flowing in, you might get a substantially longer podcast and more videos on the Patreon as well. So please consider supporting your boys, and thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, most importantly.
Remain unfazed.
Remain unfazed. Love you guys.